Okay, and here we are today to talk about the Eurofighter Typhoon, or what I call the Euro Typhoon, or just Typhoon, in the 5 easy piece version. Here are my pattern pieces for the Typhoon. Let me get the rubber band off here. Let's go through the pattern pieces real quick. Of course, you have your main wing piece and your KF airfoils that go on both sides of the wing. We have the nacelle piece. We have the fuse piece, which also has a companion piece here, which is where? Fiddly-dee. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. The companion piece to the fuse, the underside of the fuse, right there. Then, of course, the bottom of the air intake. That's this piece here. This one's been flown a bunch, so it's a bit ragged. Let's put it that way. So, but still flies great. This one is like probably fourth forward fuse since I keep busting them off. Here's our little canopy pattern, the rudder, and the canard. Okay. The assembly is fairly simple. Again, I recommend that you take your pattern and you glue it to the 1/8" thick artist board, or foam core board as they call it, at Hobby Lobby or Michael's or any of those art supply stores. But once you do that, be careful, cut it out carefully, and then take the pattern as I'm doing now and make sure it goes together. And then, of course, when you go to make the plane, lay the pattern on the foam in the most efficient way, draw around it with a marker. I use a Sharpie. You can use an ink pen if you want, whatever. It makes a good consistent line on the foam, keeping it against the edge. Don't rotate it out. Rotate it toward the foam edge, toward the edge of your pattern, so that you get the mark right there in the edge. So you're consistent with that, so you don't have pattern blur, as I call it, when they go to put it together. But anyway, now taking the sides of well, let me back up. You're going to want to assemble this whole nose fuse piece first. This is your fuse cap. These are your sides. You're going to want to bevel this edge all the way down, and you want to bevel this piece coming back this way to this point and stop. Then when you put these together, you start your registration. This butt edge here needs to line up with that. And I put little pieces of tape, like I do all of them, along there just to hold this, to bend this around, hold it together. And then you'll want to check your distance when you do your halves. This is half. This is the center line here, and they will go together like that. And what I typically do is tape them together from one side. Make sure that these points line up good. Check your registration. Make sure that it registers. One's not ahead of the other one. That can cause you problems. That it's all correct. You cut it out correctly. This knot should be, when you're done, what is that supposed to be? 1 inch deep. Okay. So, with that in mind, then what I do, I put them, fold them over with the tape on the one side, add hot glue, whatever your favorite glue is you're going to glue it together with, bring it back up, and then put another piece of tape on this side, and that gives you that's your main wing plane here. Okay. You're ready to go. Now, let's say you've made this cap. Now, you can put the cap on it before you do this or not. I'll leave that up to you. But this can be a little tricky to get on. Let me show you. What you want to do is you cut this out so this flops. You want to be careful not to break the foam. And what I would suggest is you slide the main part of the thing main part of that fuse pattern on top, and let the little tab here from the bottom go underneath. So top on top, bottom on bottom. And you just let this slide into that notch. And then as you get down here to this slot, you rotate this, and this slot comes up. And usually what I do here is put a piece of tape over that just to hold it in place so that I can come back and glue it later. So that's where that falls in. And this long slot here comes out and falls into that slot out front. So this is starting on giving you this angled effect of the fuse now, okay? Then this piece, which is going to form the inside here, your inside of your air intake, and be the, basically it's your pan in there where things go, gizmos and whatnot. That goes right there. This tab falls into this notch right there. Well, let me show you right there. It's like that, okay? And this is just an artifact left over from the notch out there. It lets air into your gizmo compartment, I like to call it, and helps to cool things off. Okay, your bottom piece then, when you cut that out, there is a tab, goes into that slot. You will have to keep this all nice and level, you will have a number 5 carbon rod that's going to run right across here, full with 24-inch. This would be, yeah, it'll run almost to the wingtip edge, as you can see. Mine's on the bottom side, buried in the KMF. See. So anyway, you do that. And this pan comes up and it fastens up underneath here, and it helps complete this sort of angle, if you will, of the fuse that runs clear down into that air intake. Okay? And then this sits here, and there should be, I think I did it on the pattern, but I didn't have it on mine here, there should be a tab that helps hold that for you. And then there's also supposed to be tabs on the bottom here. I just don't have them on mine, because mine's the original. Anyway, so now what you do though to get airflow, you see I have show this space here being cut out. That lets the air that is gathered from those intakes come up underneath this nacelle, which I'll show you here in a second, and enter to the prop. But when you've got this number 5 rod coming through here, you're going to find that basically it covers this gap. So the air can come right on up, and that's, as you can see on the plane here, that's what that looks like. So the air that is gathered from the front comes back and enters underneath here, and then out to the prop, such as it is. Your underside fuse piece. This is the center bevel. So you have one piece here and then like this. So it ends up looking like this with the arch to the outside. And that goes here. This notch stops it right there. And that helps shape this wing, or helps shape this fuse, okay? And it comes back together, and it catches around these 2 tabs that stick up, that form that divider of the air intake, okay? Then you would take these 2 pieces and make them, bevel this edge, and I glue them together, glue them together, and they, well, I would do that after I stick them through the notch actually here, and glue them, tape them together, and that's your canard. Then the upper part of the nacelle. It's the again what I call my trident tail configuration, which is the trident, the 2 side forks of the trident, and the center is your rudder groom. And once again, in this case I use again a full 24-inch number 3 rod to come clear out on the wing and keep all that stable. You can see also I've added some number 3 going back this way to strengthen this joint. And because after some crashes it started cracking and being weak and causing me some trim issues. I think I may end up redesigning this, and if you've got this and want to do it yourself, you can. Increase the height here to bring this part up even with it, and maybe even have a little bit of foam, or maybe this thing projects over onto that, so that you have a 3-point support, because the prop is well under that, and you can come straight across there and not interfere with the prop either way. So I want to do that in my subsequent ones. Okay, but now back to the assembly. This is your knock point. This will be bevel this way, and this knob comes right up here and hits this edge of the cutout for your prop slot, and that goes right along there like this. You've got a score fold line here, so this can bend and give you this engine nozzle shape at the end of the plane. And this comes right on up, and then there's some score fold line. We have it, well, first you have a slot tab right there, and then you've got some score fold. You got a line here on top. It's a score fold, and then you've got a score fold that takes place from the back side. So you would turn the plant piece over and score that, and that gets you this shape. This piece, this edge, comes right there and glues in. This comes up, and then you've got a piece here. Actually, this I've got it made backwards. Will turn down, and that gives you this shape here, so the air can best feed good airflow again to the prop. And again, as you can see, you want to bevel these sides. Mine are getting kind of chewed up from crashes and whatnot, to help split the air as it comes into that prop. That's what feeds that air in there and keeps it. As you can see, I've got good exposure of the prop here, and of course really good exposure on the bottom, so it doesn't starve for air. And this ends up being a very fast plane. Again, I'm using a Grayson Hobby Super Mega Jet with a 6x55 prop, which is what they recommend their maximum size prop for that engine, as a matter of fact, for that motor. So anyway, these pieces go in here like that, and then you'll find another little triangular piece, a isosceles sort of triangular piece in the plan that goes from here and underneath. So that, and what this does is this creates, it fills in this little piece here, and there's I don't see where mine is here on my pattern, but anyway, it's gotten lost. But there's that piece on the plan, and I try to indicate where that goes, and that's where it goes, from right here back in there, and that makes this closure, as you can see right here on either side. This is gonna has been crashed so many times. I've lost the front shelf off of it, and anyway, but you can see my videos. I'm not very kind to it. I put it through some pretty hard maneuvers, and usually get away with it. Anyway, rudder, just like on my other Trident tail, there's a notch here, and you will bevel this whole thing, notch this out with the bevel, and in this case it's just a single layer, and that goes in there like that, and of course you glue it in. And then this has this pod on there, so you can add that on there if you want, just for looks, or not, however it suits you. Here's how that looks with this piece bent down. See how that goes. That gives you your air feed. So there it is. That's the 5 easy piece Euro Typhoon, and I hope you like it.